Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how I cover really bad pimples, scabs, burns, anything on your face that you just have to cover. I have a problem. When I get a pimple, I cannot leave it alone. So I have been using these pimple patches. I don't know if you guys have tried them. They're incredible. I use a bunch of different brands and they are just these little patches. They're like little circular band-aids. There's nothing on them. And you stick it onto the pimple if it's a whitehead, and a few hours later or the next morning it sucks the pus and the oil out and it flattens your pimple. These are incredible. I have a bunch of different brands of them. They're all great. So I will link all of this below for you guys as well, everything I'm talking about right now. So if I use it and the pimple's not going away fast enough, I kind of like scrub it and I pick at it and it's so bad, and I really wanted to post this video. Hopefully you guys will stop picking at your face if you do what I do. I know I need to practice what I preach, and what happens is I end up really scrubbing it, getting up in my 10 times multiplying mirror like this one, and I'm picking at it and then it's raw, and then I go and put a pimple patch on. You do not want to put a pimple patch on or any pimple products when your skin is broken and oozing, because it causes a burn. Oh, I can't believe I'm even going to show you guys what I did to myself. See this? Burn, burn, burn. This is kind of covered. Huge burn on my face. At the end of this video, I'm going to take my makeup off and show you what it looks like underneath my makeup, and just to show you how I take care of a burn or you know, a scabby pimple or something on your skin that you really need to keep clean and keep it from getting infected. I know this is going to help a lot of people, because if it's usually like if I'm going through something, it draws me to, I have to post a video about this, because this morning when I was putting on my makeup, I was like, thank you, Lord, that I know how to do makeup and that I can cover this, because this is what my face looks like. This. And today when I went out, I was wearing a higher neck shirt. I just put this on so I could show you guys, but I'm gonna show you even how I cover this, which is also what is on my face. So the first thing that I do, I'm gonna put this towel, tuck this towel in just so I don't get stuff all over me. Oh, I can't believe I did this to myself again. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I make a mixture of spring water, not even tap water. I do spring water so that it stays very clean, and Celtic sea salt. You can use, what's that other salt you take a bath with? Come on, brain, work. It is Epsom salt. So you can use Epsom salt, you can use Celtic sea salt. This is a tablespoon of Celtic sea salt and the rest is the spring water, and I just mix it up. And all I do is I dip my finger in the spring water and rub it onto the areas that are burned or scabbed. If you think about it, going in the ocean is the best thing for your skin. It heals it. It is just, I don't know if it's like why it heals it, but every single time that I go in the salt water, my skin is healed. Oh, and another thing, So I have multiple earring holes on my ear, and there was one of the highest ones there. It would not heal no matter what I did. I tried everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try my little mixture of the tablespoon of Celtic sea salt and this little, you know, I think it's like 2 ounces of water. And I started dipping it and rubbing it onto my ear. Within 1 day, the pain went away, the swelling went down, and I would say 2 days later, completely 1,000,000% fine. It never gets infected anymore. It's 100% healed. So this is what I do whenever I have a scab, a burn, or that area is just being miserable. This is what I do. So everything I'm showing you here is what I do on my face. So I'm just gonna let that dry. The next thing that I do is I use pure aloe vera gel. If you have an aloe plant, that is even better. And just rub that in. Now, if you're staying at home and you don't care about not covering it up at all, this is just what I do. Like if I'm not going out, I don't put any makeup on the areas that I'm dealing with. So this is what I do morning and night to heal this super quickly. You don't want to pick at it. You want to let it do its natural healing. This was so much worse yesterday. Once that dries, I use this Vanny cream. This is Vanny Cream HC 1% hydrocortisone. This is great for eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis. This will help get rid of the inflammation of what's going on. So I take some of this hydrocortisone. I put that on to get the inflammation down. The next step that I would do is Neosporin. This is an antibiotic ointment. So I take the Neosporin on a Q-tip, and whether I'm putting makeup on after or not, this is what I would do. So I take it and I gently rub over the areas to see if there's any of the scab that's ready to come off, just to hydrate it. I'm doing this very gently. You do not want to break the skin. Once you break the skin, you can't cover it, because if you've got an oozing area, you're not going to be able to cover it. So if you follow this the next morning, it will have at least a small layer over it so that you can now cover it with makeup. But otherwise, this is what I would do. I would just let it be open to the air until it heals. And if I want to cover it with makeup, which I'm going to show you how I do right now, this is still all the steps that I would take. The first step I'm going to do is take a green concealer, which is going to neutralize the red and the color. You can, if you don't want to dab it directly on there, I just always clean this after with alcohol. You can just use like a little makeup brush or something like that. So I always do everything on my hand first. You don't want to just plop the product onto your skin. So the first thing I do is put the green concealer onto my hand. Then I'm going to tap it onto the areas that are dark or red that need to be covered. Wait, I'm going to dab a little bit of the Neosporin just so it's not super, super goopy. But you still want it very hydrated. Okay, now I'm just gonna tap that very gently. I have this strange, like, it's not a rash, I don't know what it is. It's just this redness. It's almost like I have rosacea on my chest, and it's very strange. If you guys know what that is, please let me know. Doesn't itch, doesn't burn, doesn't bother me. It's just red right there. I don't know why. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna use is this Dermacol. This is, I need my glasses. This is Dermacol Makeup Cover, and I have this in a couple of colors. This is dark 221, and this is medium yellow. I think it says 218. I will link all of this down below. So the key is that you want to use a concealer that is super thick and going to stay put. I'm going to use the medium yellow color. I'm going to put a little bit on my arm. I didn't even need that much. This is so thick. This will cover anything like tattoos. So I'm mixing it into my arm, and I'm using this brush, which I love. This is the same one I use for my highlighter, but I put a little piece of tape on it so that I don't mix them up, because I don't want to be putting on concealer with my highlight brush. So I'm putting it on my arm, and then I'm just tapping that over the area that needs to be covered. And I'm gonna just kind of go over this redness as well. You see it's way lighter, but that is okay. I could get a darker one, but my skin changes so much depending if I've been in the sun or used a self-tanner. I did use a self-tanner, but I kind of went around these areas because the self-tanner will stick to any dryness or scabs or anything like that. So I will show you how I'm going to completely correct the color here and hide this mess. So these steps are exactly what I did to my face. And at the end of the video, I will take my makeup off and show you what is under here. All right, now I'm going to take a damp sponge. Just kind of rub that in. I'm rubbing it on the other areas, but over the scabs, don't rub. Okay, so you can't really see it. It's pretty well covered. I'm using this Sun Forgettable. This is a mineral sunscreen that has a brush attached to it. So to get the sunscreen out, you kind of work it like this, but I'm going to tap that on just to set that a little bit before I put the foundation on. Instead of foundation, I use CC cream mixed with Sunprise SPF 50. So I mix this 50-50. You can do whatever kind of combination you want, but I mix it in this little container so that it's a little bit more thinned out. So you see, this matches my skin perfectly. So what I'm gonna do is dip my sponge into the makeup, into the CC cream. Now I can get my color. See, now it's going to match the color of the rest of my skin. Normally I use my hands to apply my makeup. I don't use a sponge, but when I'm trying to cover areas like this, dabbing with your sponge is going to keep it from the makeup from moving. And you want to make sure that you're completely dragging that anywhere that you're going to see your skin. Now I'm going to take the same brush and I'm dipping it into the CC cream, so it's kind of mixed with a little bit of the CC cream and the concealer to make it like a little bit darker. Dabbing that. Aim your body like different angles to make sure that you're getting it all. Then kind of just go back and forth with the sponge and the brush until it is completely covered. The biggest thing is make sure that you're matching the color and that you're using good products. It's layers, it's really layers, because you don't want, obviously you don't want this to move once you put it on. And the makeup that I have on right now, I have had on all day. I have not touched it. I have not touched it up at all. Now, if you tip this upside down, this part opens up because you can refill it. Now this is expensive. I don't care though. It is the best thing ever. I will continue to buy this. I think it's like $70. It is so worth it. I use this all the time. This is the best powder sunscreen, mineral sunscreen. I absolutely love it. And I think this is in the color tan. I will link it down below, the color that I use. I think it's tan. So I've actually dumped this all over the floor before, so be careful. So it opens up like this, and what I'm gonna do is dump a tiny bit into the cap, teeny tiny bit. I don't know if you can see that. Very carefully prop that up. And I'm going to use the same concealer brush that has like a little bit of wetness concealer on it. Dipping it into the cap, and I'm tapping that directly on the blemishes. This is tinted also, so it's going to give you even more coverage. It's really going to lock in all of that concealer that you just did. Then I'm going to, again, go back. So it's looking a little bit dark, so I dipped it. It's just trial and error. It's like painting, you know? So I'm dipping it back and forth into the CC cream, into this Dermacol Concealer. You just want to keep layering until it's covered. This is what I did on my face, and it has not budged, and you cannot even tell. Tap, 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 tap. Don't drag it, you're just tapping. Now I'm going to take a bronzer. This is also an SPF bronzer. This is discontinued, but I will put something similar down below. This is Physicians Formula bronzer in the color Bronzer. And I'm really getting a lot on there. This is like a nice big fluffy brush. I'm just gonna tap. This is even more sunscreen protection, and it will keep it set, so it's not going to come off. Now I'm going to take the e.l.f. highlighter, and this will kind of throw the eye off a little bit. So I'm going to do this on the collarbone so it'll look more glowy. You want to pull the eye away from what's going on. So another trick for that is I put big earrings on. You want to do anything to take the eye away from the fact that you have any blemishes or scars or scabs or anything. So that is another trick that I do if I have something going on, is if you put big earrings or a big accessory or something, or a bright lip will pull the eye away from anything else going on your body. So the last thing is the e.l.f. Dewy setting spray. This will help to mesh all of the powder and everything together. Now another thing that I could do is to put a necklace on. I wouldn't put a necklace on with what I'm wearing. I think that would be just too much. But that's another trick, is you could put like big chunky layered necklaces. You would never know that anything's going on because it's really gonna take away from that's where your eye is gonna go. To take the makeup off, I will show you the steps that I use. I use the Aveeno. This is a calming, ultra calming makeup wipe. I know a lot of people are against makeup wipes and don't use them. I love them, so you do you. So this is what I use first to get the makeup off. I will show you. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is what we're working with. It's starting to heal. It's healing really quickly, actually. So this is what's under there. Pretty amazing, huh? I will show you guys what this looks like covered up outside. Like, this is huge. This is, it's bad. It's really bad. And you didn't even know it was there before. And I'll show you even outside up close in the sunlight. You don't know it's there. All right, so this is the end of the day. It is 101 degrees out right now. I know that's crazy, but I want to show you. It stayed on, has not moved, and I have not touched it up at all. So I will show you again what I do to cover this. I'm taking the salt water. You want to make sure that it's super clean. So, oh, another thing, that if I was taking off all my makeup, the next step I would use this Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser. This is Neutrogena. Again, I will link every single product that I'm using down below in the description box and pinned to the top comment. So I would very gently wash my face after I use the makeup remover. This would be what I would be doing at night and in the morning. Same exact thing, but I'm not going to use the cleanser again in the morning because no need. I would only do that to get the makeup off. So I'm dipping again in the salt water, putting that on. Let that dry. And you can feel like it starts like shriveling and drying up. Next thing again is the aloe vera. I need to get a plant because this is like the most incredible healing ever. Put the aloe vera on. Let that dry. Now, one extra step that I did do on my face this morning was, oh, this is so, I love this. This is called Ren, R-E-N. I can't see. Ren Ever Calm Overnight Recovery Balm. So I will use this morning and night because it is super healing and calming to my skin. And then anything else that I'm going to use, I will use actually over this. So then I will, if I was doing my whole entire face, but I'm just doing this little area, it's like these really great healing oils. I will put this actually all over my face. Like, I'll rub this all over my face before I put my makeup on, and that keeps my skin really hydrated and my makeup goes on so much better. Next, I'm going to take the Q-tip and the Neosporin again, And I'm telling you, this helps heal stuff like this so much faster. Like, this would be weeks normally for this to heal, but because I'm doing all of these steps morning and night, whether I'm putting makeup on it or not, it's gonna heal so fast. And I have that kind of skin that when I scar, it turns dark and it scars forever. So this is a great way to make sure that is not going to severely scar and stay dark like that. Okay, so I'm gonna dab it just a tiny bit, and we start the whole process again. I'm gonna start with the green to neutralize the red. So anywhere that's red, you just put a tiny bit of color correcting. See how it calms the red right down? But obviously you don't want green skin, so you're going to be going over that. Then I'm going to use some more of the Dermacol Concealer. This stuff is like incredible. I'm kind of stretching out my skin as I apply this. Okay, we're getting there already. And I kind of go like a little bit around the area because you don't want just this big blob of concealer in one area. You want to kind of feather it out. Just gently like that. Now I'm going to take the powder, give it just a quick little dab just to set it. See, you can see there's a part, probably the pimple, that never even healed after all that picking. You can kind of see that, so I'm going to dab it. And another thing is, look in a magnifying mirror so you can really see what's going on. What is going on with this piece of hair? I like to look in a magnifying mirror when I'm doing this so I can see up close what is going on. Taking the CC cream now to even out the color so you can see the color's off. Now I'm evening out the color. So I would be doing this obviously all over my face. The dabbing of the CC cream. Now again, I'm going to kind of go back and forth between the two just to find that perfect coverage. Boom! It is covered. Then I'm going to dab this on there. Again, we're going to flip this upside down. Use some of this mineral sunscreen powder. Another thing is you really want to make sure that you're keeping your skin protected from the sun always, but when you have something like this, even more. That's why it is just, there are so many layers of protection over this right now. See, there is a tiny dot in the center where the pimple that's so deep in there is trying to come through from, I've got the scab on the outside and then I've got this tiny dot in the center. So what I'm gonna do is take some of the powder on my finger and try to work it in there. There we go. Really wanna get that in there so it stays covered. Okay, now, so I'm looking at it, looks a little bit dark, so I'm gonna go back to the Dermacol, lighten it up a little bit. If the color is matching, that's where you're gonna get a really natural end result. Now I'm gonna go in with the bronzer. And anything that's near there, I don't wanna be rubbing. So I'm just tapping on the bronzer. Onto that area. Now blush. This is IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty Blush. I'll have everything on my skin linked below. What is that piece of hair doing? It's supposed to be up here, but it fell down. Get down there. Down. Okay. Now, highlighter. Moonlight Pearls. Dun, 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 dun. This is Revlon Color Stay Translucent Powder. Then with a clean, fluffy brush, blend that out. Setting spray. That's it, you guys, like magic. You cannot even tell anything is there. I'm gonna touch up my lips with Runway Rogue Trendsetter Lip Liner. I absolutely love this. If you guys are looking for the best lip liner, you don't need a sharpener, it stays put. This one matches my lips perfectly. So for like overlining, I know everyone has like a different color lip, but if you think your lips are similar to my color, this is so perfect. They have tons of different colors. I'll also link that below for you guys. So I draw in quite a bit and then pat my lips together. Then I use also the Runway Rogue. This is Photo Filter. I put it like kind of in the middle and just tap my lips together. This is so hydrating. Absolutely love it. All right, you guys, I hope this gave you some ideas and helped you if you are having any issues with any kind of imperfections on your skin that are making you feel kind of bad about yourself, because if I had to go out in public like that, I would be really kind of embarrassed. I know that's not the worst thing that could happen in life, but just knowing that you can cover it and feel more confident about yourself really, really helps. If you guys have any tips or tricks of your own, how you cover anything like really bad, like what I just showed you that was on my face, please share with all of us down in the comments what your favorite go-to routine or cover-up is to cover really bad scabs or blemishes or burns or tattoos or anything like that. I feel like this Dermacol, it's so thick and it stays so well that it's gonna stay there until I take it off. And literally, unless I sat there with something and tried to really rub my face off, it is not going anywhere. It is staying put. You see, I can touch my chest like that. It's not going anywhere. I mean, if I really tried and like took my shirt and scrubbed it, of course it would come off. But amazing, so much better. I can touch my face, it's not going to come off or move because I did all of those steps of powder, concealer, and everything to make it stay, and the setting spray. It's not going anywhere. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos. You can also click the little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of all of the videos that I upload. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Bye!